Hey, do you know that the Joker got in prison?
What a transition. Yeah, that's what. So they tell me. Obviously, I have not seen it, but so
I saw it. I was in the cinema and I'm watching, and then he got in the prison.
Yeah, that's
And I was like, oh,
so what people would like to see.
oh,
And I saw that Variety, was it Variety today, that posted, and I don't know who's. It could have been a leak. I don't know what you would call it, but clearly some people over at DC and Warner aren't necessarily happy about it.
no shit.
Yeah, no shit, right? About the movie. So there, there's rumblings, and if Variety's covering it, no, they for sure leaked that information to them, basically saying that they were difficult to work with. Obviously, they had their way of that they wanted to do it. It wasn't going to get screened like in the way that Warner would have preferred it. So it's been some interesting conversations being had surrounding that movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that came out. I'm just trying to find the exact, but he was difficult to work with the studio. He wasn't taking notes. He wasn't taking any direction from. Here we go. Here's Geeks and Gamers. Geeks and Gamers have succinctly put it. So, refusal to work closely with Warner Brothers and DC, retain nearly absolute creative control over the movie, refused to film in London for a 20% cost reduction in favor of working in LA, ignored notes from DC Studios heads James Gunn and Peter Safran, refused to test screen Joker 2, and pushed to debut the film at the Venice Film Festival against the studio's plans. And that is from Variety. That is coming from Variety.
That was coming from Variety. So that was the point that I was making. That this almost sounds like someone from Warner was like, "Wait a minute, we got to give y'all some information here because this obviously is just from the review stat. Obviously, box office is they're suffering right now, but there was just some general." Turmoil surrounding this whole ordeal, and Warner wanted to make sure that they it's almost like, hey, it wasn't our fault type of stuff is what they wanted to put out. So yeah, it's interesting. I don't know why they went the direction, but they went the direction, and here we are. It's not a sequel that really anybody, normies or not, do not seem to be very happy for. Now, I was not one of those, to be fair, that look, as with anything that has a initial kind of as far as its reception, you're gonna tend to give the sequel the benefit of the doubt, even when it's like, well, what the fuck direction are they going? When I saw that it was going to be a musical, I was already checked out of that. I couldn't. I'm sorry, I just couldn't give it a chance, even with that, because I was like, I'm not. I thought that was yes, it was unorthodox, but I just thought that was already setting it up for failure. And then now here we are, where it just had a lot. Aside from that, it had some problems that people had with it. Obviously, you talked about one of the scenes that was really, really needless. And yeah, it's just and now everybody's talking about why does this exist? Why did it even be made? I mean, yeah, I guess in retrospect, why did it get made?
Because that scene directed where the rest of the movie went, which was from elevating himself back up to Joker to literally having everything graped out of him. And then it was from there on in, he was just like, no, I'm just Arthur Fleck. I'm not the Joker. I'm just Arthur Fleck, and I'm a murderer, and nobody should follow me or be interested in me, and blah, 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 blah. And it's all, I don't want to live up. It was just, because I when it was a musical, I knew it was a musical. Obviously, we knew it was going to be a musical. I was just like, you never know. You know, if it's a clever idea, it could work. Clever idea could work. The trailers, I saw the trailers. I was like, you know, I'm interested. I'm interested in what I see. And then when I was watching the film, I was like, I understand why they're using the musical, because it was essentially the musical pieces were used as a vessel for him getting his voice back. because he just wasn't. He was back down to Arthur Fleck again at the beginning of the movie, and it's about building himself back up to getting his voice back, his confidence back, becoming the Joker again. Then he had it butt sexed out of him against his will by the guards. So I kind of understood, and I wasn't blown away, but I wasn't. It was beautifully acted, beautifully directed. Looked good. Lighting was great. Incidental music was good, just like the first. So there was you could understand and appreciate it, and it just gets to that scene, and you just like, I just felt like getting up and leaving the cinema. I mean, just not in a pearl clutching way, but just in a
what the fuck way.
Just. I'm just done, I'm just done with it. I'm just tired, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired of this stuff. It's like nobody needs in essence, we're a superhero movie, whatever. You are using superhero characters, you are using Joker. Harvey Dent is in it as the district attorney, assistant district attorney. Harley Quinn's in it, of course,
Mm-hmm.
So it's like what don't you want in your superhero movie? And you could say some certain things. Maybe if it's a Batman film, you don't want excessive swearing. Maybe the odd shit here or there, but you don't want excessive swearing because you want it to be sort of available for the kids or teenagers at the very least. Probably not prison. Probably don't put that in. That's probably a good no. To go in there. So when it happened, I'm just sat there. It's in a pretty empty cinema anyway. It's 8 people in my cinema probably, and I'm just like, I could just get up and walk out, just get a coffee, something. But it just had it sucked. It just sucked the air out of the room anyway.
Right.
You could hear a pin drop. Now you could hear a pin drop in Dolby 7.1. It was all sucked out. And then when it did end and we're walking out, there's a couple ahead of me, 30s, let's say early 30s, maybe late 20s. And they were quiet as they're walking out. And as soon as they opened the door and went through the doors, the guy just turns to him and goes, "That was fucking dog shit." That's kind of like, I was just trying to process what the fuck I'd just seen.
Right.
Because you sort of you are questioning it. You're like, did I just see what I saw?
Right.
Is that what actually happened? And you're sort of like, have I read it wrong? Have I read what just happened wrong? Is it, so you're sort of questioning yourself. And then you bring up social media and you sort of have a little look around, and people are just like, "Oh no, I saw what I saw." No, I read that right. He got aggressively butt sexed by 3 prison guards.
Yeah, man. That's
how are you going to sell tickets when that comes out? How are you selling tickets?
Yeah, man. Look, there's a lot of conspiracies surrounding this movie right now, and when you break down the storyline, it almost seems to lend some sort of credence to the idea that this was a self implosion, as in purposeful. But then again, I'm dealing with Hollywood, and a lot of these people think that they're a lot more artsy, right? And this is kind of their approach anyway. This is the story that I want to tell. This is the story that people want us to tell. I don't know. But, you see people talk about, oh, this is a screw you to Warner. They tried to set it up for failure. And I have a hard time believing that they invested that much money just to, and maybe they did. I don't fucking know. That much money to just say, we're going to lay an egg here or lay something else. But it's not going to be what people actually want, or something that people are going to want to enjoy. But they did it. And here we are. It's the sequel that a lot of people they're going to ignore in the future. And now people are going to say, and though I'm not going to say, because I'm not going to try to retroactively act like I wasn't one of the ones that was okay with a Joker sequel, because I was for sure at the time I reviewed it. That stuff is still up. But for sure now people are going to be like, well, why does it exist? Why did they even do it? They would have much rather it not existed in the first place, as opposed to now that's part of this. It's lore, or it's canon of whatever fuck universe this is. And it just didn't land. But anybody could have told you that it wasn't going to land. But as I'm talking myself through, this guy got butt fucked, and then as I'm walking myself through that, I'm also like trying to remember what type of weirdos that we're dealing with. And sure, maybe it is sheer incompetence. Maybe this guy was high on his own shit and was like, yeah, man, this is a movie that I think a lot of people are going to enjoy. Thanks for watching. Be sure to head over to Rippaverse.com to check out our comic book company. We have books, plenty of merchandise, and even some glorious animations from Rippaverse Studios.